boys and girls. This is Miss Gappa here, and today we are going to be reading about the organization of living things. So you can read along with me if you like, or you can follow on my video. It's whatever is best for you. So our main topic for this reading would be characteristics of living things. Our main idea: all living things are made of cells and are able to carry out life processes. If we look over at the right, I'm just going to read some of these vocabulary words and you can repeat them after me just so you can get used to the pronunciations. Cell. Can I hear you say it? Life process. Organ. Organism. Organ system. Reproduce. And tissue. And today we're going to be working on a similar or familiar reading strategy that we've used in the past, which is comparing and contrasting information from the text. So let's take a look at our main idea. All living things are made of cells and are able to carry out life processes. Living things. What is the difference between a bronze duck, which is here in the photo, and a live duck? The live duck can carry out life processes. The bronze duck cannot. A life process is a function that a living thing performs to stay alive and to produce more of its own kind. All living things carry out life processes. One of these processes is to take in nutrients, materials used by living things to grow and develop. Living things also reproduce or make more living things of their own kind. So boys and girls, let's go back to this word nutrient. So our types of nutrients that we're taking in as a human would be any type of food that you eat or water that you drink. Depends what kind of animal it is. They might take in, meats. They might take in plants. Depends what they're born to eat, pretty much, whether they're carnivores or herbivores or omnivores, and they do both. So going back here to reproduce again means to have babies, right? So depends what it is. A human would have a baby, just like I have Grace, right? And if we were thinking of a chicken would lay eggs. So some go through different stages of reproduction, but all things that are alive reproduce, even plants. Plants will then have seeds and they'll have babies, right? Eventually they'll have more plants. Let's take a look at our next slide here. Life process. So here is a really awesome comparing both plants and animals, this chart. So here are the 7. So they're in yellow here. I tried to make them brighter for you so you can see them. And some videos, some books might call them different things. So I added both of them here for you. So the first one here we have is nutrition. Nutrition means when something takes in materials such as nutrients and gases. So a plant, they take in the carbon dioxide, water, and minerals from their soil, right? But an animal, which we would be considered an animal, right? So this is our 2 main classifications. Animals would be any kind of mammals, all right? They would also be considered in this category insects and, again, any other type of bird or a mammal. So they take in oxygen from the air and nutrients from food. So they breathe in oxygen, all right? That's one of the gases that they take in. That's what they mean by gases here, all right? And of course, any nutrients from what they eat. Now we're going to growth and development. So this is just an image, which I really like. They don't only have words for these. So as you can see, the plants here, their growth is they start getting taller, right? Their stems might become a little bit longer. Their roots might grow a little bit longer. They might get more leaves. And again, they're getting bigger and expanding. Where a human, if you see this boy, he's measuring himself against the wall. He's getting taller and taller as he grows, which we go through many stages, right? Babies, we have infants, we have toddlers, a child, teenager, and keeps going on from there. Our next one here is respiration, which respiration means releases energy. So a plant releases energy from the food that they make. An animal or a human releases energy from the food that they eat. Okay, this can also go into breathing, right? So being able to breathe in that sense too, letting air in and out from the gases they take in too. Our next one here is sensitivities, how you react to your surroundings, right? So if you notice here, this plant is reacting by growing. It might be moving to the side in order to get more sunlight, where this bird, which is considered an animal, goes to this plant, right? It's a hummingbird, and they're getting nectar here, right? And they're continuing that life process. Let's take a look here. Excretion. Not one that we really like to talk about too much, but this can be in many forms, giving off waste. So for plants, they give off oxygen as waste, and that's a product of their making of their food. So their waste is oxygen, right? Other processes give off water and carbon dioxide, where here, when we're talking about an animal or human, we give off carbon dioxide. So out of our mouth, we breathe that gas out. That's our waste after we're done with the respiratory system. And then our other waste would be going to the bathroom, right? So another type of waste that you might think of is when you sweat, right? The excretion of sweat coming out of your pores. And our last one here is reproduction. So reproduce means to have more of its own kind. So here we have an acorn, and we see that it's growing, right? So maybe it released one and now it's growing into a new, and we see more of the same kind. So we see a little seed here. And then over here we have llamas, and llamas, we have the mom, and then we have them, the baby next to it. Super cute. So that's our two types of reproduction. Now, on the next slide, you're going to see there's a video up here that you can watch. You just click on it. It'll play it right on the slide here for you. And before you start, I highly suggest that you read the questions here for your Flipgrid video. This way you know what to concentrate on while you're watching the video. Okay? Thanks and have a good one.